overhaul the past and all the relics, things, and trinkets. See, it's that we call the actual prosthetic links to infancy. And some become attached to that, in fact, indeed it helps. Then others toss it away in hopes that it'll repeat itself. Some focus on the young, counting all the days wasted. They forget what they have left and wish that they could trade places. Pencils etched in pillars served as records of my growth, and when they seem to be complete, I never measured up to hopes. Pictures act as mirrors, showing you yourself is mended. The time begins to split them both until they're known as separate. What was once a candid pic then begins to be nostalgic. It's just you becoming distant from the child in the album. Portraits serve as a reminder, leaving holes in the wall. First you're too young to remember, then too old to recall. The seconds end unnoticed, and the minutes give the siren, and hours leave regret, so every day he's more defiant. And age was made necessity, so he crawled to his height. 18 just comes so sudden, then you're adult overnight. Did it add to his youth, or lessen the affection? After all the abuse, he was left an adolescent. And time reminds us all, be careful what we demand. It's best to compliment instead. He's been there since he began. You adapt, I adjust, we're completely disagree. You command, I conduct, we're a team and they compete. Look back on what the weeks made, a shoebox full of keepsakes, and each of these remind me of a different day that we played. A part of the past you saved up, cause really it's what you're made of. Me then and now we're strangers, but at least they can relate us. Look back on what the weeks made, a shoebox full of keepsakes, and each of these remind me of a different day that we played. A part of the past you saved up, cause really it's what you're made of. Me then and now we're strangers, but at least they can relate us. When in the final stage of reason, look back on the past achievements, and even if when it was harsh, you'll be glad you could have the season. See, no one develops a liking towards life that is closer to dying. You can deny the reaper is right, so when he arrives, just go into hiding. Entry to heavens according to faith, the thought that'll comfort the Protestants. The rest of us don't look too kindly to age, we merely develop a tolerance. And it's best to pray and try persuading those determining order, because you'll never be a god, so you should learn to be immortal. It comes in the form of flames, and the heat is a lot to handle. So order the birthday cake, but you better forget the candles. They've added a layer below the dirt and a ring in between the bark, and a closer look at both will show them bringing them up to par. So count on the calendar weeks and remember the months and the year with an essay, cause soon you'll be picking the words and terms so you can define the decade. Keep it basic, vague, let them discover the secrets and decide with their own eyes if it's a remedy or a weakness. Well, is it a gift of disease or simply a vigilance still in between? And can it be found in the air we breathe, or was it injected in Adam and Eve? The leaders decided to cover up so they were hidden from what is above us, and the citizens did it in unison so they can fit in among the others. When cause is thought of effective, you can rest, your work is efficient. It's easy, free, and addictive, and weaklings need an addiction. Minutes only matter when the time clock's racing, giving all the data, minimize your wasting. Morning, late night, burning daylight, giving limits within life. Back on what the weeks made, a shoebox full of keepsakes, and each of these remind me of a different day that we played. A part of the past you saved up, cause really it's what you're made of. Me then and now we're strangers, but at least they can relate us. Look back on what the weeks made, a shoebox full of keepsakes, and each of these remind me of a different day that we played. A part of the past you saved up, cause really it's what you're made of. Me then and now we're strangers,